Well, hello, beautiful. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I trust that you are doing well. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Lara Akinola, and over here on this channel, we are passionate and intentional about our personal development and growth. I trust that you are doing well. So this video is a follow-up to the last one where I talked about why your feelings are killing your growth, or why your feelings or living in your feelings are hindering your development. If you haven't seen that video yet, I've put a link in the description bar below of this video. Go and check that out. In that video, I promised to give you some practical steps you can take to control your emotions rather than your emotions controlling you. Well, this video is a video, okay? This is where I'm going to be sharing these steps with you. And if you're ready to stop living in your feelings and avoid making decisions that will harm your growth and development, regardless of how you feel, this video is for you. So without wasting any much time, let's get into it. To control your feelings or to address whatever feelings you're feeling, one of the first things that you need to do is to first identify and label the emotion that you are feeling in a particular moment. This is what I refer to the what and the why. What am I feeling and why am I feeling the way am feeling? So you are addressing the trigger. Okay. I know this may sound almost simplistic or even nonsensical, but you will find that sometimes what you are truly feeling might be different to what you think you are feeling. And being clear on what is causing your feelings is critical to your ability to make decisions that are based on your values and on your goals rather than emotional reactions. For example, if fear is stopping you from taking a particular action, taking a particular step, you can put and ask yourself, am I afraid of failure or am I just uncomfortable with stepping into something new? See, maybe you set yourself a particular goal this year that will stretch you, want to go where you've never been before. You want to do something bigger than you've never done before. And then you are feeling afraid, you're feeling anxious, to do it, you're afraid. So you just want to give it up. So I'm too afraid. This is too big for me. This is too, you know how we look for excuses, how we look for valid reasons as to why we don't do what we're supposed to do. You can pause in that moment and try to label what you are feeling. Are you actually afraid of failure? Are you afraid that, oh, it's too big, I can't do this, I can't accomplish this? Or is the feeling you are feeling just a discomfort? You are uncomfortable to step into a new territory, a new environment, something that you have not done before, to venture into doing something new. So if you can stop and create and look at the difference between those two, you will see that the fear that you are feeling may not be what you are feeling. Actually, it is a feeling of discomfort. Or maybe you are feeling physically tired. You've gone to work all day or been out all day, or for whatever reason, you are physically tired at a time when you are required to do another task. You're required to do something that maybe it's not physically demanding, okay? Something like going through a document, for example, read this document and report back on it by a particular deadline. So you have a deadline that you have to meet, but you are physically tired. So now reading that document does not necessarily require any physical effort at all. You just have to sit down there and read it. But because you are tired, you are exhausted physically in that moment, it could evoke a feeling of irritation or even annoyance. So you are irritated or annoyed, not because of the task that you've been asked to do, but because you are tired, and going through that document in that moment is not what you want to do. So can you see the difference? Can you see that instead of reacting impulsively and saying, I don't like this, or I hate this, or I'm afraid. If you can just stop and evaluate what is going on, you will see that sometimes what you think that you are feeling is not necessarily what you are feeling. So identify the what and the why will help you to make a more value-based decision rather than an emotionally charged decision. So instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to label what you are feeling. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And why am I feeling the way that I feel? So that's number one. The next one is that you need to recognize that feelings are temporary, but actions have consequences, and in some cases, long-term consequences. Okay. So emotions, they come and they go like waves, but the actions that we take in response to them can have a long-term effect. Okay. How you feel in this moment may be different to how you feel in that moment. Emotions, they come, feelings, they come in waves, they come and go in waves. But the action that you take in response to how you feel can have a long-term effect. And learning to pause and evaluate emotions before acting can prevent you from taking regrettable actions and will also foster better decision making. There is a school of thought that emphasizes the space between the stimulus, that is what is triggering your emotions, the stimulus, or stimulating your emotions, and your response. And that school of thought suggests that in that space lies our power to choose our response. So rather than being controlled by the emotions that we are feeling in the moment. So there is a space between the stimulus and the response. And that space, it is crucial that we identify that or we actually allow that. And one of the powerful way I think that we can master this is by applying the 90-second rule. A 90-second rule is a concept that encapsulates the fleeting nature of emotions or feelings, and that it's passing, it doesn't stay. According to this principle, the physiological response to an emotion lasts only for approximately 90 seconds. And the emotional state continues or persists beyond that time frame. They said that it is because we are giving thoughts or interpretations to it. So, what you are feeling, if you don't continue to feed it, if you don't continue to dwell on it and continue to interpret it, that school of thought says that it doesn't last any longer than 90 seconds. This is something that I am keen to put into practice. What about you? So, the next time you are faced with an emotional moment and you are feeling what you feel, you're triggered by something that somebody said or did not say or did not do, remind yourself that this emotion will pass if I don't feed it, if I don't rise up to it. Have you heard where somebody is maybe goading somebody or baiting them, and then they said to that person, or that person said to themselves, I'm not going to rise to this. I'm not going to bite the bait. I'm not going to feed it. It is exactly the same thing. It is exactly the same thing that's applicable to all the emotions that we feel. If you don't rise to it, if you don't feed it, and you remind yourself that it will pass, then you have mastered it. And one of the ways to help to take some of the practical steps that we can take to, with this is to, number one, pause, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are in control. That emotion is not in control. You are in control. That fear that you are feeling, or that sense of overwhelming that you are feeling, is not in control. You can control it. If you just breathe, stop, pause, and then name the feeling. Instead of saying, I am angry, for example, you can say, I am experiencing anger. So this will help to create that distance that we talk about, between the stimulus and your response. It will help to create that space. So if you say, I'm experiencing anger, or I'm experiencing anxiety at the moment, or whatever it is that you're experiencing, create a distance between yourself and that experience. and so that you can have that space to think and to make a better choice. And that is when you ask yourself, what is the best next action I can take in this situation? So you shift your focus from the feeling to the action that aligns with your goals and with your values. I know that some of us, if not all of us, have set goals and targets for ourselves to achieve this year. And this is the last month in the first quarter of this year. Okay. And many things may have arisen that would want to pose a resistance or an opposition to achieving our goals and our targets. That have these things may have evoked emotions. They will have evoked emotions, some kind of feelings. So it is crucially important that we stop and we think that I need to move forward. I need to grow. I need to develop. I'm not going to allow this to hold me back. I will get unstuck and become the person that I'm supposed to become in this year that I've set myself. So you shift your focus from the feeling. It is a discipline. It's a form of self-discipline that you discipline yourself to shift your focus from the feeling that you are feeling to the actions that aligns with those goals and those targets that you have set for yourself, and to the values, to your values that aligns with what you want to do. Okay. I'm curious at this point, share with us in the comment section. Think about a time when you acted based on your emotion, based on how you feel, and you later regretted it. And what could you have done differently? Share with us in the comment section below and let us learn together, because I believe that all of us are in this together. I don't believe that this applies to just one set of people or another set of people. And I believe that we can all learn from this. So I'll be interested in learning how you have dealt with this particular situation. Okay. So the next way that I believe that we can control our emotions and still achieve our goals is what I've alluded to this in the points above, is that we separate our feelings from our actions. This is called emotional agility. So I am just expanding more on that. I know that I've mentioned it in the point above. When you hear something like this, it's easy to think that you're being asked to suppress your feelings. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to suppress your feelings. That will only make them stronger. When you try to suppress how you're feeling, it will only make those emotions stronger. But conversely, allowing yourself to be consumed by them can also lead to impulsive action. So emotional agility is the skill of acknowledging your emotions without letting them dictate your behavior. And this is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. Acknowledging your emotions, acknowledging your feelings without letting them dictate your behavior. Once you have been able to identify what you are feeling, and you also understand that, one, these feelings are temporary, but your actions can be permanent and long lasting. And two, you remember that the emotions really are data, they are not directives. That is to say, the feelings that you are feeling, they are telling you something about yourself or about the situation in front of you, but you don't necessarily have to act on what it is telling you. So once you understand this, like, you are now empowered to take values-based actions that are separate from your feelings and not allow your feelings to dictate your behavior. That is to say, that you acknowledge your emotions without letting them dictate your actions, and you can create a distance from them and make more intentional choices. A practical example of this is, say you received an email or a feedback that sounds critical, that you don't agree with, and evokes an emotion of anger from you. Instead of immediately firing back a defensive response, you can acknowledge your frustration. You can acknowledge your frustration about what that email has, what that email is saying to you, or what that feedback is saying to you. But reflect on whether you might be misinterpreting the tone, and then you can craft a calm and professional reply. But if you respond immediately based on how you feel in the moment, you may jeopardize opportunities. You may jeopardize relationships, professional relationship in the work environment or with business people. So how you respond to feedback or to information that don't that annoys you or that don't sit well with you, how you respond to them is really, really important in how you grow your whatever it is they're trying to grow. It could be your character, it could be your business, your personal development, basically, which is what this channel is all about. How you respond to things that don't sit well with you is crucial to your growth and your development. So you can just pause and think about what you are looking at. Think about that email that you are reading, reflect on it, and see maybe you are misinterpreting the tone of the email. Even if you weren't, even after you have sat down and you've thought about it, you've taken some time and you thought about it, even if you still conclude that how you interpreted it is right, but because you have allowed yourself a few minutes, you will see that how you craft your response to that email or how you respond to that person will be different. So emotional agility will help you to shift from emotion-driven thinking to growth-oriented thinking. And this is where you want to be. This is when you say things like, I don't like it. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like, going to that meeting, or I don't feel like being a part of that thing because of the email, because of what that person did. That we shift from that and shift into a committed based mindset by saying things like, I'll do it because it aligns with my goals. I don't like the way they've spoken to me, or I don't like the tone of that email, but I'm committed to this and I will do this. And that says a lot about your character. And believe me, people are watching and they are taking notes. Okay? Right. So the next way that we control our emotions, that we respond without allowing our emotions or our feelings to control us, is by reframing our thoughts. You can reframe your thoughts. So this is cognitive reframing in order to shift perspective. Perspective is important. Okay. So the way we interpret events influences our emotions and ultimately our actions. And by shifting our perspective, we can change our emotional response and make better choices. For example, instead of saying, I feel discouraged, so I should quit, you can say, this feeling is temporary, but my commitment is not. My perspective is that I am committed to this. Or rather than saying, I feel anxious about this meeting, you can replace it with, this meeting might be tough, but it is an opportunity for me to learn and improve. Think about what you will learn from that meeting. Think about what your contributions in that meeting will be also. So it's not going to be all bad. It may be a tough environment, but it's an opportunity for you to learn and to grow and to improve. So you reframe your thoughts about everything. Or you can say, oh, I'm feeling down. I feel depressed about this thing that I want to do, this goal that I want to achieve, because I don't have the money, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have the people. I don't know anybody to help me. You can reframe your thought. You can reframe your thoughts and shift your perspective to saying, okay, this is an opportunity for me to stretch myself and network and research and find how else, other ways that I can achieve these things that I want to achieve. Can you see that perspective is important? It depends on how you orientate your mind. If you orientate your mind in thought that, oh, it's all gloom and doom, I cannot achieve this, I don't have any help, you probably will not. But if you reframe your thinking and you have a different perspective to say, this is an invitation for me to grow, and this is a challenge for me to grow, and I will accept it, and you throw yourself into it, and you will see that it will help and it will move you forward in what you are trying to achieve. It will move you forward in your growth and in your development. Okay. So Another way that you can respond to your feeling without succumbing to it and allowing it to control you is to create a personal decision making system, a way, a system that you have chosen to respond or to make decisions. Because when emotions are high, decision making suffers, but having a predetermined system will help override emotional impulses and ensure that you make choices that align with your values and your long term goals. You will notice that in all the points that I've been raising, I've been mentioning making decisions that aligns with your values and your goals. This is important. It is really, really important because this is the only way that you can get to the place where you want to get to, that you can achieve the goal that you want to achieve, that you can be the person that you want to be, right? So you need to have a system in place that helps you to override emotional impulses and help you to make choices that will align with your values and your goals. So you can define your rule for action by stating or writing down a simple system to guide your decisions. For example, you can say things like, if I feel overwhelmed, I will take 5 minutes walk. I'll take a 5 minute walk before I respond. Now, that is your own system that you've created. Or I will count to 10 before I respond. You know, it does not matter what you choose to do, how you choose to do it, rather, but what it is important is that you are saying to yourself that I will take some time out. I'm not going to respond immediately. Or you can say something like, when I'm making financial decisions, I will consult my budget before acting on emotions. You know, when the sale is out, come on, girls, don't leave me out here by myself. You know, we are all in this together. How often do you consult your budget before you make that financial decision? When you see those shoes and they happen to be on sale, this is when you need to count to 10 and remind yourself that no, I need to consult my budget. This is not part of what we've planned. This is not part of our financial plan for this quarter. We are not buying this now. It is really, really important. And I know I'm making light of it, but it's actually really important, okay? Because just £10 here, $20 there would really, really throw your budget off balance. So the next time you want to make that financial decision, consult your budget before you act on the emotions. Sales, they are created to play on your emotions, to evoke emotions of wanting, of needing, fear, of FOMO. Don't fall for that. Okay? Whatever financial decision you want to make, it is crucially important to consult your budget. Another useful resource in creating a decision-making system is something that I came across. It is called the 10-10-10 rule. The 10-10-10 rule is a decision-making framework where you evaluate the potential consequence of your choice by considering how you feel about it in the next 10 minutes, in the next 10 months, and in the next 10 years. Essentially, helping you to assess the short-term, the medium-term, and the long-term impact of your decision before you make it. So this is when you ask yourself, will this decision matter to me in 10 minutes? How will it affect me in 10 months' time? And what impact will it have on me in 10 years' time? So you are assessing the short-term impact, the medium-term impact, and the long-term impact. And the benefit of this framework is that it will prevent you from making impulsive decisions by forcing you to think beyond the immediate emotions and consider the long-term implication of your decision. Have you heard of that framework before, the 10-10-10 framework? If you have you used it before, and how has it helped you? Because I'm determined to put this into action myself. The 10-10-10 framework is really, really important. Yeah, so share with us in the comment section below. Let me know if you've used this framework before and how well it has worked for you. And last but not the least tip that I want to share with you is a very common one that you've heard every time, and I know you've heard it all the time, and it is consistency. Practice self-discipline, three small, consistent actions. And I've heard it said many times that discipline is the antidote of emotional decision making. So commit to showing up for your goals, even when you don't feel like it. You want to lose weight? You want to shed some pounds for the summer? Commit to showing up with your diet and with your fitness. Okay? You don't have to do too much. Just small steps. 5 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you want to do it. I know you've heard it so many times, but it's because it's true. If it wasn't true, you would not be hearing it all the time. So commit to showing up for your goals. Even when you don't feel like it, commit to showing up. Otherwise, there will be no growth. There will be no development. And you may find yourself this time next year still setting the same goals, still trying to set the same agenda, which really is not where you want to be. So whatever your goals are that you have set for yourself to accomplish this year, remind yourself that allowing your feelings or your emotions to control you will prevent you from achieving them. Well, this brings us to the end of this video, and all that is left for me is to say thank you for your company today. I hope you have found some value in this video. I hope it has helped you. If it has, please share it with other people so that they too can enjoy it, they can have some value in it. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and help it to grow. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can be made aware the next time I drop another video. And until the next time,